Okay, it is not wanting to record either. That's not good. Recording. Oh, you just got to be like me, don't you? So I promise I teach a college course with this part in it. So it's yeah. The video is called 10 Hours of Lamb Chop Singing the Song That Doesn't End. And it's a wonderful, wonderful video to teach computer science.
The song that doesn't. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend. Some people stop singing it, not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever just because it is the song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on. Some people stop singing it, not knowing what it was, just because it is the song.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get cranking because it's 7:04, and we had some expected absences today. Part of that is in Franklinton, where I'm teaching this from. There is a horrible lightning storm just outside, so that might be part of it. I don't know how the weather is in Hammond. Jennifer, is it pretty bad there too, or?
We had storm blow through earlier today around 3 or 4, and it was fine.
All right, well, well, we're going to go ahead and move forward. So I want to start off with a little bit of a recap and talk about what it is that we've learned so far. Believe it or not, we're about halfway through all of the material from this course. We're really, and what's insane about that is that we will cover the vast majority of the basics of what Python does. There's nothing that we can't do after the next 2 lectures. So the rest of it is just filling in. Today in the next lecture, we're just filling in these pieces, but that is really all there is to Python. But I want to start through by doing first the BMI assignment that we talked about with the last class, and I want to go through the thought processes I have whenever I code, because I want you to see what I'm thinking when I start to implement, how I problem solve with it. So I'm going to do some active coding here and kind of show this. So I'm going to go ahead and present my screen. And what I'm going to show you is a new setup. Now we're going to do a new calculation for BMI, So I'm going to put as my first line. I always put my first line as just who I am. Now this shows up as gray. It starts with an octothorpe or a hash or a pound, whatever that is. And this is not being run by the computer. It's being run is purely for the benefit of the programmer. So I like to put my name up here. I don't know why I use my middle initial. Something happened in college that changed that. And I'm going to type in what it is. Also like to put in the date sometimes just so I know about when I created it. So 2021. Part of that is I like to know just how bad it is whenever I start looking at it, because I do feel like I get better and better with programming, and especially compared to where I was 10 years ago, much less 20. All right, so this is a comment. Now, here's where I start thinking about how to solve problems. I know that I want a program that calculates someone's BMI. Now, in order to do that, I know that I listed out some things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all these things, right? And I'm going to start listing those as comments to do what we call problem decomposition, to break down a problem into smaller and smaller problems. but I'm going to do it starting with comments. And I'm going to literally do it like this. Get a user's height. And I'm going to go ahead and put in inches. Then I'm going to put another couple lines down. I'm going to put another comment. I'm going to say, get a user's weight in pounds. And then I'm going to think about how I solve this. And I'm going to go, okay, I get the height and the weight. Okay, here's the first place where I'm really messed up. Okay. I don't know how to figure out what a BMI is. So whenever I want to solve that, I do something really, really ridiculous. All right. I Google it. And one thing that you need to know is that Googling it is totally allowed. Okay. It is absolutely allowed. What we don't Google is, what is a Python program to do BMI calculation? That's not what we want. What we want to Google is, what's the formula for BMI? So I'm going to show you that exact Google, and this is me not being prepared at all because I want y'all to be just as surprised as what comes up as I am, and that is kind of scary when you trust the internet to come up with stuff. I'm typing in Google BMI formula in LBS, which is pounds. All right, calculating BMI using all right, here it is right here. Weight divided by height times 703. All right, so I can do that, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to copy that exact same thing, and instead of clicking over back and forth, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Python to solve this. I'm not Python to help me with it, not solve it, but to help me with it. So going back to my lecture, I'm going to make a little comment here that says calculate BMI, and I'm going to just paste in here with Control V that formula, right? So now I get to see a little bit more of what I'm doing inside of this code. Do y'all see how comments can be helpful like that? Now I don't have to click off into the page. There's one thing that I also like to do, but I won't do it here. And that's sometimes I like to copy and paste where in the world I got that from. So I might even do this sometimes where I'll do this little comment like I'll do this and I'll do citation. And I'll put the little link there, okay? That's where the site I got it from. I'm not going to do that today just because it's too much stuff on the screen. So we get a user's height in inches. We get a user's weight in pounds. We calculate what the BMI is. Now, that should give us a number like 18 or 24 or something like that. So that's going to give us a number. All right, we got to think about it. And the last thing I want to do is print out the classification. I don't know if that's the right word, but I'm talking about like normal, overweight, that sort of thing. So look, I'm breaking it down by comments before I ever start coding, but now I can start thinking about how to solve this. And y'all, we've seen a lot of this stuff of like getting the users, and that's input, right? So I'm going to start filling this out. Check. All right. So I'm going to do the first part just from the previous lectures, okay? And y'all stop me if y'all have any questions. Just unmute because I can't see both screens at the same time. I'm on a laptop, which is also why I stink at typing when I'm doing this. But let me go ahead and put this in. We're going to put this height. That's what we're going to call our variable. And we're going to set it equal to, and we're kind of seeing this now. I want to pull in an integer. So we saw that last week. We saw that, and then we do an input. And we put our prompt inside of it. And it says, what is your height? I'm going to put in parentheses IN right there. Now, what that line does is it makes a variable called height. And that's like one of those mailboxes or a safe deposit box, right? It makes a little storage inside of the computer, and it's going to store in a value. And the first thing it's going to put into it with that assignment statement is an input that's an integer that is going to be the user's height. That sounds very German. And so your height. All right, I'm sorry. Enter your height. There we go. So then we're going to do copy and paste because nobody likes typing, right? And we're going to do height and we're going to do weight. And I'm just going to copy and paste that. So the same thing. I was tasked with getting the user's height in inches, and that's what I did. I made a variable for height. I asked the user, what is your height in inches? And I took that input and I stored it in that height mailbox. Same thing for weight. So now I want to do the next thing. I want to calculate the BMI. And here's what's beautiful about these comments. I am going to just straight up copy this formula right here. And I'm going to make a new variable. What am I going to call this? It's going to be the BMI number. So yeah, let's just call it BMI. And remember, in Python, there's a naming convention, like the way you usually name things is all lowercase, and it's called snake case, where it's all lowercase and then underscore, then the next one, then underscore. That's kind of how we name variables inside of that. All right, so I'm going to set that equal to, and I'm just going to copy this. The weight. Oh, wait, we better put that parentheses there. The weight divided by the height, times 703. Right. And the first thing I notice is that there's a red squiggly line. We have our first error. So I'm going to give everybody a second to type that in. And then I would like a volunteer to tell me how I could have already messed this up in the first few lines. Well, we've already got a red line there. All right, I like that everybody's typing away. I can hear. I've got some of these Burrises are in the same room as me, so I can actually watch them typing. So, all right. See, the thing about using IDEs, these integrated development environments, which is what Rappel.it is I can actually use it for an example of what's going on. And if I put this, it's like invalid syntax, and it doesn't know what's going on there. But does anybody see what it is? It's okay. This is a tough one. The operator for multiplication is not an X. It is an asterisk. So we do it like that. So I was copying it wrong from the formula itself. So now it should work. So now I've got to stop here. I've done a lot of programming. Okay, 3 lines of programming. But one thing's for sure, I have no idea if I'm calculating this BMI correctly or not. So I want to figure out what's going on. I want to figure out what I'm doing, if I'm doing it right, all of those things. So here's what I want to do. After I input this and after I calculate it, I'm going to do something called debug. And I'm going to print out whatever that BMI is, just like this. And so let's try it out. Okay. So I am going to hit run. And I'm going to put my height in inches, which is 70 inches, 5 foot 10 inches. Hit enter. What is your weight in pounds? And it is 187. Hit enter. And my BMI is 26.828775551. Okay. I have no idea if that's right. I have zero clue if that's right. So what am I going to do next? I am going to go find a place that tells me whether or not I did that right. All right. So I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to look over here and it says BMI calculator, show height, BMI calculator. All right. So let's see this. The same page that I got the formula from had a BMI calculator, and it's 5 foot 10 inches and 187 pounds. I think that's what I lied and said it was. All right. Said 26.8. All right. Y'all, that's exactly the right number. So we know that the first little piece works. Now, I'm already well on my way of calculating what someone's classification is. Okay. So I'm going to look up real quick this BMI chart, and it's going to be one of the basic ones. I'm going to do BMI chart simple. All right. So, all right, there we go. Something like this. All right. So it says that the below 18.5 is underweight. 18.5 to 24.9 is healthy or normal. 25 to 29.9 is overweight. Thanks for that. And 30 or greater is obese. All right. By the way, these numbers are wildly inaccurate because I ran an ultra marathon when I was at 28. So y'all don't worry about what it says with your weight or inches. That's a very personalized thing. So no worries, no worries. All right. So we've got it working here. It is printing out the BMI. All right. So the next thing I want to do is print out that category. Now I can't copy and paste it here. So I am going to just go ahead and show you the code. And I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put classification. I'm going to do another comment. It's going to say under 18 is underweight. I think it was like 18.5. Then anything under 25, less than 25 is normal. Less than 30 was overweight, and greater than that is obese, the bad word. All right. So with all that stuff and that background information, when I'm thinking about how to solve the BMI calculator, I start thinking about how I solve it. And this is where I get, when I problem solve, I get to the English-ish part, right? I get to start explaining it to you. And I would be like, well, look, if you're under 25.5, just print out that it's underweight. That makes sense, right? The computer should understand that. But the thing is that I can say that. I can't use English. I got to use English-ish, right? And so for that, I'm going to put in the Java code, the Python code that does this. Y'all, I teach you many languages here. All right. And it said if the BMI was less than 25, no, it wasn't. If the BMI was less than 18.5, then we put this colon, not a semicolon, but a colon, and we hit enter, and it scooches over one. It indents a little bit, and so we know that while it's less than 18.5, we're going to go ahead and we're going to print out the word skinny. I don't like underweight. That's kind of like fix yourself. I don't like that. All right. So now you'll notice it goes to the next line. And I wanted to do something else. So if the BMI was less than 18.5, I wanted to print skinny. Let's do the next one. Let's do it like this. Okay, look, it's already telling me something's wrong. I need to put that on that same line. Else if. Let's do overweight next, because I want to do it. I want to do it this way. BMI, if the BMI is less than 30, what we're gonna do is we're gonna print we ain't gonna do overweight either. We're gonna do thick. All right, there we go. All right, we're gonna do thick. All right. So that's y'all. I'm sorry. That's just it's 7 o'clock. We're gonna do what we can to have fun with code. All right. So I love that because, yeah, I think it's going to work. All right, so then we'll do the other ones. We'll do another LF. All right, it's already red, so we want to go over here. And if that BMI is less than 25, that's going to be, we're going to print out normal. All right, UBU. There you go. All right. And then finally, else if, and we're going to do an else. And we don't need anything else. Anything else? I think Moto likes you. All right, there we go. All right, so that is all of our code, and that's going to be the setup that we have for this, and we're going to see how it works. We're going to see how we got to test it. Okay, so all right, we probably should do our real words here. So I'm going to replace this with obese, and we're going to check it. All right, this was obese. This was normal. And no, I'm keeping thick. That's just too good. All right. We're going to hit run and it's going to compile because there's no squiggly lines at all. Okay. And it says, okay, this IDE kind of lets us know what the problem might be. Look at it. It says on line 23, else, and it's like there's a little arrow there and it says, I think you're missing something right there. I think you're missing something that it can't seem to find. So I start looking there and I look up the code from last week and I'm looking at what's going on and I'm being totally realistic with my by looking at what happened. And I'm going to see, oh, wait, there was supposed to be a colon there. All right. So I checked that and now we have to test it. All right. So what's your height in inches? Well, it's 70. What is your weight? 187. And it said 26.8. And that's thick. It works. Does it work? I'm not so sure that it works. Let's try it out. Let's run it a little bit. All right, so let's do somebody like super skinny. All right, so what is your height? They're 7 foot tall, 72 inches, and they're 135 pounds. All right, they skinny. Yep, 18.3. Okay, now that isn't even that skinny. 135. Anyway, all right, so skinny. It seems to work. All right, so let's do a normal weight. All right, a normal weight. All right, so let's do 70 inches, my height, and what I'm supposed to weigh, 170 pounds. Ain't no fun in that. Can't barely eat crawfish. And it says 24.38, which should be normal because normal is supposed to be from 18.5 to 25. It's supposed to be normal. And it just said that's still thick. All right, I guess I got to lose some more weight. So instead of 170 pounds, let's go from 70 inches and let's go down to 160 pounds. 22. Yo, 160 is skinny. Like that's somebody needs help opening a pickle jar. You know what I'm saying? All right, so that's not good. So let's try it again. Let's something seems crazy here. What is your height? 70. All right, and let's just go down crazy. 150. Still thick. Okay, 70. Okay, 110 pounds. Skinny. Something is wrong here. Something's wrong. Let's run this again. 70, and I know that 170 is supposed to be normal. And it says the BMI is 24.3, and it prints out thick. And I need to know why. What in the world is broken in it? Let's see, we entered in 70. We entered in the weight. We printed out 24. Okay, the number has to be right. We printed out the BMI that has to be right, 24.3. That's right. Now, what's wrong is the classification. So somebody look at this code and speculate what might be going on by stepping through the English. All right. If the BMI is less than 18.5, the BMI is equal to 24.3. So is the BMI less than 18.5? No. Jennifer, you have an answer.
I have an answer.
What you got?
It's evaluating that it's less than 30 and it's automatically saying thick.
Hmm. But I did leave normal in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what Jennifer's saying is like, look, it's the order matters. If the BMI was less than 18, it wasn't. So it goes down to the LSIF. If the BMI is less than 30, is the BMI less than 30? That's a big 10-4. All right. It absolutely is. So it prints out thick. In our if statements, if we're reading it in English, it stops. Why would it do the other thing? It said take the red pill or the blue pill. You took the red pill, you're over, right? You don't have to take the blue pill too, right? So it's over. So absolutely. So the hard part, we got to fix it. All right, I think I know this one. I'm going to fix it by doing this. I'm going to take copy and paste, and I'm going to up my game to Control X and Control V. And I'm going to move this up here. I'm going to run it, and it's going to work just fine. That fixes that order of it. So here's the answer to last week's sort of challenge: how to build a BMI calculator. And this is, you know, kind of all the syntax. This is everything that we know. Seriously, everything that we know so far in this class is here. We've got variables. We've got reading in from the user. We've got printing out. And we've got these new things called if statements. All right. So I have a bit of a challenge for you. Okay. I'm going to let you copy this. We're recording this, so I'm not going to give you much time. I want to go as far as we can today. I'm going to give you a challenge for you. I want you to make a multiplication quiz. All right. A multiplication quiz. Not multiplication, subtraction quiz. One of those operators. All right. So we're going to make a quiz, and we'll call it subtraction quiz. And here's what I want you to do. I'm going to put in comments that I'm decomposing it for, and I want you to get an answer. So I want you to get a users. You know what? I should probably use X. All right, yeah, just use it. Get a user's X. Get a user's Y. Get the user's yes for X plus Y. I need to use the same stuff here. I'm sorry. And then I want you to tell the user right or wrong. Now that's a big challenge. Okay. I want you to get a user's X. So something for them to enter in as an X. Get another number from the user. Huh. All right. Get the value X from a user. Get the value Y from a user. Ask the user what their guess is for X plus Y. And then tell the user if they were right or wrong with their answer. That's your challenge. I want to give you a solid 3.7 minutes to get as far as you can with this. Exactly 3.7. All right. Now we just did all of the pieces and parts with an if, else, if, all that stuff. We just did it. So let's try to use the same stuff to solve this. And I'm going to help you by constantly talking and keeping you from being able to focus on your work. I'm just going to get in your brain. I'm going to keep mute. I almost hate to break the vibe here because I think a lot of people are going really, really well here. So let's see. I'm going to just type in my answer real quick because that actually isn't the point. That is just the precursor for what we're doing today. Not a precursor, the preamble. I'm sorry. So get a user's X. We're just going to do this super easy. X is equal to an integer that is input from the user with a prompt that says, what is your X? Put a little space there to make it. I have to tell y'all about something in a minute. So, because I almost said make it sexy, and that's actually a computer science thing. So, not a creepy uncle thing. So, all right, we're gonna get the integer input, and we're gonna do this. What's your Y? And get a user's guess for X plus Y. All right, so let's see, do this. Shoot. So I probably need to call this something. So let's call it the guess. We're gonna call it the guess. We're gonna set this equal to the input. What do you think X plus Y is? All right. And then we're going to tell the user if they're right. Oh, so I don't, if the guess is, shoot, I don't even know how to, all right, all right, we need to calculate what the right answer is. So let's call that the sum, and we're going to set that equal to X plus Y, just like that. And then we're going to say guess is equal to, and I got to tell you all about that in a second, the sum, print, right, else, print, wrong. There we go. All right, it's a closed curly brace. I think it's all this stuff. All right, there we go. Here's the right answer, and I've got a lot to unpack here. All right. First off, a couple of things. I need to tell y'all about a very important concept. I'm going to leave this up here, and y'all can type while I'm writing it and all this stuff. I should probably check it to see if it works, but I'm pretty sure it works. What is your X? 5 plus 3. What do you think is 8? Says right. All right, let's run it again. 2 plus 2 is 7. All right, wrong. Good. All right, we're good. Okay, so it seems to work. I need to tell you all about a principle. Okay. There's this thing called sexy code. All right. And developers and programmers live by the concept of sexy code. Okay. And what that means is code that is pleasant to look at. And what's crazy is that it's so important that college kids are graded on it, right? But that makes sense. I mean, okay, so I'm going to pick on Katie in the room because Katie's right here. Katie's an editor, right? And I'm sure more than once she has been sent a page and a half with no new paragraphs, and you want to strangle somebody, right? Because it's like, no, that is unreadable. Whatever point they were trying to make was padded with so much nonsense that we missed it, right? Being readable, being legible, it's really, really important. So when you see my code, you'll notice some comments throughout it that just explain what it is. And I'm going to leave that in there. I put some new lines in there to kind of split the pieces and parts up. This stuff does matter because it makes code easier to read. And if it's easier to read, then it's easier to fix problems. It's easier to work with other people. It's easier to come back later and look at it and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I wrote that, right? There's a lot of that stuff that goes on. So whenever you're writing, look, y'all can sort of tell. There's something crazy about this. This is absolutely functionally equivalent. That is the same thing, okay? The exact same thing. My goodness, except for I broke it. Oh, now my antivirus is like something's doing something. All right, this is the same code. It does the exact same thing, but it is worse. It is so much worse. Look at that. But then look at this. And how much better is that? Note that it does the exact same thing, but with some new lines and some comments and all that stuff. It's sexier, right? It just hits the eye better. It's absolutely sexier. So I need to tell you all about that. Sexy code. Sexy code. All right. Very good stuff. All right. Oh, y'all. I could teach this class until midnight and still have a good time. I apologize. I got to move on from this. I got to go one more thing real quick. And we're going to actually talk about today's lecture. And y'all are going to love this PowerPoint. Y'all are going to absolutely love it. It is the longest PowerPoint I've ever written. Counting the title slide, it's 2 slides. All right, so it is the shortest one because I don't want to spend a lot of time working with PowerPoints on these. Our thing that we're going to do today is, you know what? I don't think it's showing my PowerPoint. Can you see my PowerPoint? We try that one more time.
It did for a sec. Showed the first slide.
Google Meet stopped recognizing the window completely. That's crazy. All right. There we go. Y'all can see it now. All right. So I want to spend a lot of time that we're spending here together, actually coding, actually working through stuff. And when we do this, y'all stop me real quick. And if you need to present your code and me fix a little problem with it or something like that, totally can do it. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about getting loopy. All right. So that's an example of why we need loops. Okay. I'm going to go to a very simplistic version. Now, those of you that have children know that there's an easy way to be annoyed on a road trip. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Or you ask again and we're stopping, right? It is just no. Like this is all right. So can we write a program that prints "Are we there yet" 100 times to the screen? Right now, can we do it? I bet I can. Look, it's going to be an awesome. All right, it's going to be awesome. Stop sharing. I'm going to write this program right here because that's going to be a great use of our very limited time together. It's for me to show you a bad program. All right, but it's important. All right. All right, this is all we have to do. Print. Are we there yet? And here's what we're going to do. Control C. Y'all see what I'm doing? Oh my goodness, I'm over in the console somehow. So ask again, can we write a program that prints out, are we there yet, 100 times? Please say yes so I can stop doing this. I've already made my point, all right? Good. So, yeah, we can. But y'all, that's kind of dumb, right? Like doing it like that, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And the other problem is when we do things that are like super, super relevant, like the song that never ends. This is a song that never ends. It goes on and on, my friends. For those of you that came in late, I apologize. We had a 10-hour loop of that wonderful Lamb Chop song playing. It's nice if we could sort of repeat pieces of code. And it's something that we're super used to, right? When we're playing video games, right? We keep playing until, right? So we keep playing checkers until we run out of pieces. We keep playing tic-tac-toe until there are no more spaces, right? So this stuff is super, super relevant. So we have to learn how to do it. So that's what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to loop that stuff. I'm going to show you a very basic line of code. All right. This is a while loop. Now, I say it's basic. I'm going to tell you it's kind of, we're starting to get to the hard stuff. Okay. But let's read the English-ish. And I'm going to give you a second to process what this snippet of code does. Read it out and don't just say that's a whole bunch of complicated nonsense. I hate computer science. I hate John. I'm going to find him. I'm going to burn his office down. None of that stuff. We're going to look at it and we're going to read it in Englishish. This is where it would be nice if computers could understand English and not English-ish. It's high-level stuff. Does anybody want to venture a guess about what this does? Oh my goodness. Okay. So Natasha's in the other room shouting what the answer is. And she didn't even say like sort of the right answer. She said like spot on what the answer was. All right. So let's look at what this does line by line and let's talk about it. And in that, I'm actually going to delete this. I'm going to put a little box here. And in the box, I'm going to keep up with our values, okay? So this first line makes a variable called x. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Let's send this. All right, it makes a variable x. We know from our thing, there's no fiddly bits on the end, so it's probably an integer. And it sets that value equal to 1, okay? Now, the way we've been stepping through code, like we go from the top to the bottom, and we read it like a story. We make a variable called x. We set the value equal to 1. And then the next thing we do, let's look at what this does. Let's think about it. While that value x is less than 5, do something. What is it going to do as long as the value x is less than 5? It's going to print it. And then it's going to add 1 to it. Let's see what this looks like. We go down here. It says we set the variable x equal to 1. While that x is less than 5, so we check it right there and we go, okay, while x is less than 5, it's 1 right now. Okay, so it's definitely less than 5. So we do all the stuff that belongs to that while with that indentation right there. That's what we do. And so we look at it and we go, okay, while it's 5, we print out what the value of x is. Okay, so down here in the console, give me some space here. All right, down here in the console, we print out what is the value of x? It is 1. We print out 1. All right. And then we set the value of x. Okay, now this is a complicated line right here. All right. We set x equal to x plus 1. So we find the x mailbox, which is right here. Right here. And into that value, we put the value x plus 1. All right, so the number x, the variable x is 1 right now. So it takes 1 plus 1, which is 2, and it puts 2 into the x mailbox. Y'all comfortable with that? I'm getting some blanks. All right, Katie says she's Fonzie. Oh, she's a half Fonzie. Can you give me a full Fonz? There we go. Full Fonz it is. All right, so we're ready to go. Now, here you'll notice that we have like an indentation that goes over to the left a little bit, right? So what that means is that's what happens after this while loop. So it's going to, instead of going down and printing done, we're going to go back up to the top and we're going to ask it, is x still less than 5? Yep, it's 2. So it still does the loop. So it's going to come down here. It's going to print out what x is. And then it's going to set x equal to x plus 1. So in the x mailbox, it's going to set the value equal to whatever is in there now, which is 2 plus 1. So it's going to add 1 to the X mailbox. All right. So that's going to be 3. And then we print out done, right? No, that doesn't make sense. All right. We go back up to the top. We ask, while X is less than 5, is X less than 5? Yep. X is set to 3. So we're going to keep on chugging, and we're going to print out 3. And we're going to set the value of X equal to X plus 1, and just adding 1 to it. Okay, so we go back to the top. And it says, while X is less than 5. X is less than 5. It's 4. So we're going to print out 4. And now we increment X right here. We add 1 side of X, and we're going to put X plus 1 is 5. And from here, we go back up to the top. We go back up to the top. Is X less than 5 now? It is not. Good job. You know how many college students get that wrong? Yeah, 5 is less than 5. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it is kind of, it can be complicated. I'm sorry, but it is. 5 is less than 5. So whenever we get to that section, we scooch down out of the while loop where all the indentation ends, and it prints out done. I want to show you this inside of Rappel and show you what it does. Now, y'all should totally still have your all right, this. Y'all should have this. All right. I'm gonna paste this in real quick. Oh goodness, it looks like I'm losing out of time. Oh, 10 till. I'm sorry, y'all. My thing froze. Because of course it did. Oh no. Do y'all have access? Do y'all have internet?
It was just hiccuping for me a minute ago.
Ooh. All right. The whole internet is down. Maybe it was just Rappel.it. Right? So, all right. So, where were we? So paste. I want to show you this. All right. So that's that little piece of code. Now, here's what's crazy. All right. I'm going to hit run, and it's going to print out 1, 2, 3, 4 done. Then what's your X? That's what we're doing. I'm going to give y'all the biggest challenge that I've ever given you in this class. All right. I've kind of stepped through what a while loop does. Now I'm going to give you a question. Okay. Can you make this I said subtraction, that's addition. All right. Can you make this addition quiz? Keep asking until they find the right answer. All right. Now, in order to do this, we have to break down a while loop. Okay. We have to break down what it does. And for that, I'm going to do a couple of things here. All right. I'm going to show you this. I'm sorry, I have to take off I realize what part of it is. My computer's getting super hot, so I had to take off my background and stuff. All right. I want to break it down like this. Inside of while loops, there's something that happens before a loop. And there's an important question here. It's when do I stop? What do I loop? And after the loop. Right? Now, those are my big hints to you. And I'm going to give you 4.25 no, that's too round of a number, 4.21 minutes to work on this. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to alter this addition quiz. I want you to put that while loop somewhere that it makes sense. I want you to get a user's X, get a user's Y, get a user's guess for X and Y, and then I want you to keep asking them for the right number until they get it right. So what you need to think about, what's the part that's inside of the while loop that happens over and 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 over again? When do I know to stop doing the thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again? And I want you to think about this problem and where the pieces go, like you're solving a puzzle. All right. So I'm going to leave that while loop in there, but that's just so that y'all have the text there. All right, now I'm going to shut up and y'all have 4.21 minutes. You can totally do this. You can totally do this. All right, 4.21 minutes are up. Anybody get it? Anybody get the solution? Not just yet? All right, I'm going to give you some hints. And this, just like the BMI calculator, is where I want you to kind of struggle this week. I want you to look back to where the while loops are. I'm going to add some stuff here, but I'm just going to add the decomposition here. I'm going to put down the comments. All right. Okay, so I get the user's X, I get the user's Y, and that's going to stay the same. I'll put that here. This will stay the same. All right. And then this one, I'm going to get the user's guess, but they're going to keep doing that over and over and over and over and over again. Right. So we don't want to do that. This is where we need to check. There's a little bit of question mark there. Okay, we have to do that here. Check to see if the right answer was there yet, but we don't even have one yet. But we need to do it over and over again, right? We need to check if the user's right or wrong. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this. Let me do this once. Move this up here. All right, and this screen, this is where I'm going to leave you. I want you to figure this out. How can this is everything above the loop. This is the stuff that we want to loop. This is the stuff after the loop. And I want to leave y'all with that. All right. So I'm going to leave this here. Y'all copy it down. I got to do a quick scale down. I really try not to keep y'all past 8. I've done horrible at posting material and assignments. I will do much, much better because there's something super exciting coming tonight. All right. Tonight, I'm posting a big programming assignment. We're going to do a video game. All right. So, yeah, y'all just heard my son say, oh, we're doing a video game. It's going to be a text-based game, all right, a text-based adventure game. And we're going to do this. We're going to have fun with it, okay? So this is the easiest question I could possibly give y'all. Okay, so my biggest fandom is Harry Potter. Like, I wish there was something close to that. I just love I love it enough that I will actually watch the third Fantastic Beasts movie, okay? All right, that's how much I love the canon, right? So, and that's asking a lot, all right? So, because that second one was straight trash. All right, so anyway, so I want to know, what's your biggest fandom? What is like the universe, literary, game, movie, your own creation? What's your biggest fandom? What do y'all got? Daniel, what's yours? Oh, he's typing. Jennifer, what's yours?
I knew you were going to call me. It would probably be a tie between Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe or like the Tolkien universe.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Lord of the Rings.
Awesome, Lord of the Rings. All right, awesome. So, what's that? All right, Ash or Lawrence says Percy Jackson. Katie?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. I love that we've gotten a lot of literary between Tolkien, the Chronicles of Narnia, set and Percy Jackson. It seems to be all literary. Natasha, do you have one? She's like Virgin River. Bridgerton? Downton Abbey.
Bridgerton, I'll switch.
I didn't know that was a possibility. I want y'all to have as much fun with this. And the way that we have the most fun with it is we're going to choose our genre. Okay. I'm actually going to choose Star Wars for writing the assignment. But y'all don't follow Star Wars. I want y'all to do it. Okay. If it's Lord of the Rings, Keep it at the extended movies, not the original theatrical releases. You know, we want to keep them long, or you can go back to the books, one of the two. All right, but we're gonna go through those games. You're gonna see what it is, but it's gonna. I need you to have fun with it, okay? Because it's the summer, and I'm not getting paid for this, and y'all are giving away summer Monday nights to be here. So have as much fun as you possibly can. All right. I'm also going to do my best this week to post more material, more lectures, more PowerPoints, more everything for y'all so that y'all can consume as much and make sure that y'all feel comfortable. And this is the other thing I want to do. I want to make sure to put plenty of sample programs up on the Moodle page, or not Moodle, the Google Classroom page, so y'all can see that. All right, so I will try my best to do better. It's been a crazy summer for me, but I'm gonna. This is the only fun thing I'm doing. The rest of it all sucks. So. All right, so thank y'all everybody. Work on this multiplication quiz. Keep asking till they get it right. Once you do that, and then check the classroom page early tomorrow. See what kind of game we're going to develop. Y'all have a great Monday night.
Bye. Thanks.
Good night.
Good night, Daniel.